Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by super middleweight #1 contender, of course, Zach Parker. Zach, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I have.
Yeah, very good, thanks. You've just finished a hard training session.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I haven't, funnily enough, but fair play to you for doing so. Um,
yeah,
Obviously, big news was confirmed yesterday when we found out that Callum Smith will be
yeah,
fighting Canelo Alvarez for Smith's Super WBA belt in your
yeah,
division. What was
yeah,
your reaction to the news, and was it something you were expecting?
yeah. I was either expecting like Callum Smith or Celeb Plan was going to get it, but obviously he's been waiting for the fight for quite a bit now, and then he's got his chance, and hopefully he takes it with both hands and brings it back to Britain.
What do you make of the fight itself? I mean, yeah, we all hope he's going to win. We're British and we support our own and so forth. But Canelo's
Yeah,
a different breed of fighter. He's a pound for pound contender. But is it a case of at this weight, it's a much tougher test for Canelo in this one?
yeah. He's one of the greats now, and you see him against like Kolyev. Yeah, he's good. He's good at heavier weights as well. It's like he's got a good head movement, so kind of have to be watching for his power, and hopefully Callum Smith's size causes Canelo some problems, and he'll have to use his jab a lot, I reckon, in this fight. You have to keep Canelo occupied, but yeah, it should be a good fight, like nonetheless.
And I've got to ask, and you can feel free to swerve it, but I wouldn't be right if I didn't ask. Who do you fancy in the fight?
I don't know because it's like I know stars make fights, but I'm probably leaning towards Canelo because he's like been there and done that, especially on the big stage. Like his resume speaks for itself. So I'm edging towards Canelo, but I wouldn't be surprised if Callum Smith does it as well because like the size and he's fresh as well. He's been waiting for his shot, and just have to see how Canelo reacts to it at super middleweight.
Let's get down to the important stuff. How this fight affects you, because Canelo kind of leapfrogged you as the WBO #1
Yeah,
contender by virtue of being Canelo. Basically, we could go into the permutations, but that's what it comes down to. Now
that's
he's challenging for a WBA because he's already the regular champion. Now he's challenging for the WBA super version. Do you
yeah.
expect him to come out of those WBO rankings as a result?
Yeah. Well, in boxing, money talks, and he's the money man. So that's why he got put up against like first and put up second. But yeah, with him going for the WBA like the super title, it should open up for me and Billy Joe. But that's what I'm hoping. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Obviously, he's got to win that fight first against Callum Smith, and we'll
And
see how it
talking
goes from there.
And talking of fights that need to be won in the interim, Billy Joe Saunders, who you're the #1 or #2 contender for, depending on what happens with that Canelo situation,
Yeah.
he's defending against Martin Murray, neither of whom have been in the ring for a long time. What do you make of that fight? Because a lot of people are writing Murray off. Do you think it might be tougher than expected?
Depends how Billy Joe's trained. You know what I mean? I think it should happen like a couple of years ago. There was talk about a couple of years ago, but you can't always write. You can't write someone off. It might be his last chance, so he might be putting effort into it. You know what I mean? Worry might be, but yeah, I see Billy Joe winning that. To be fair, if he boxes right, and they're both like super middles. That's the same thing. So it'll suit Billy Joe with his size, Murray's size, and that.
Is that what would be one of the advantages for you in that you are tall, you are rangy, and we haven't seen Saunders go up against many fighters who are that type of and have the skill set to back it up as well?
That's what we're hoping for. I want the Billy Joe fight, and I think causing loads of problems, especially with my size, and I've got the power as well. But yeah, I can box as well, so I just want that. I want the big fights now. And obviously, I got put up #2 instead of Canelo, but I reckon I should be up there with Larkson now and push on for a world title.
And what do you do in the meantime? Because Saunders is fighting Murray. Everyone's inactive because of the pandemic. Wants to get back out there. Are you going to be taking fights in the interim? What's the plan?
Yeah, I think I might be on the Billy Joe Saunders undercard. That's what it's looking like. Probably defending my WBO title, but yeah, obviously I want to keep busy while this pandemic is. My last fight was like right on the ridge when lockdown happened. I think it was like March 7th, something like that. So yeah, I want to push on, get some more fights. And I've only fought like 2 or 3 times in the last 2 years because I had an injury and that. So yeah, I want to push on, get some more fights, and keep active.
Do you find it kind of reassuring that they want you for that show because it suggests that they're building up to an eventual fight between you and the winner of the main event?
Yeah, that's it. That's why I've been pushing to get on these Sky Sports shows, because the super middleweights. That's Eddie Hearn's got all the super middleweights at the minute, and yeah, obviously if me and Billy Joe on the same card, it's going to be setting up a fight for me and him. Obviously, the thing is, I'm like a young lad coming up, and they want the money fights. I'm just coming up, so they don't want to just like risk it all for low rewards. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just waiting for the big fights, but obviously that Billy Joe's on my schedule.
If he were to give the belt up, I haven't had a look at the rankings beyond 1 and 2 before we did this interview, but do you know who you'd end up fighting for the vacant belt if that happened?
I think Danny Jacobs is close to me, but yeah, that would be a good fight. I wouldn't mind going over to America. So I've always wanted to box in America since I was like a little kid, and yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yes, obviously, Saunders has to get through Murray first, and then he wants a Canelo fight. That's what he wants. He wants the big fights, but I think he'll have to have a title to get that Canelo fight.
It's an interesting division at the moment, isn't it? Because you've got guys like you, John Ryder, Danny Jacobs, all kind of bubbling under, waiting for that shot. I know Jacobs has reigned at middleweight, of course, previously, but waiting for that shot, in Ryder's case, at another shot at super middleweight gold. And then you've got, like you say, the big names, the Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo, only wanting to fight each other, wanting to kind of protect that money, I guess, at the top level.
They want obviously the thing is, I'm like 26. I'm at my prime, like, and them lot are going like 30, 31. They're going towards the end of their career, so they're like waiting for big fights. Like they need the big fights as well, because they've been at the top for quite a long time now. And they should be getting big fights, but yeah, and they can only run for so long. Like I'm number one now, and you can't keep ducking me.
Great stuff. Well, I really appreciate you finding some time for me, especially straight after a tough training session.
Yeah, it's all good, mate.
Oh, you got a call coming through you.
No.
That's Eddie now. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Murray's injured. Step in.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything to that effect. I'm just joking, right? Really appreciate your time. Hope to see you back out on that card, as you say. Always in good fights, so I look forward to that. And hopefully we'll see you soon with a world title shot to talk about.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Cheers, Zach. Take care.